As we enter our 70s and beyond, our bodies undergo a series of natural changes that affect everything from our energy levels to our ability to recover from illness and injury. Among these changes, the gradual decline in bone density stands out as a critical concern. Bone health is not just about avoiding frailty or the inconvenience of a fracture. It's about maintaining independence, mobility, and quality of life. Unfortunately, some everyday foods, commonly found in our diets, can quietly undermine the strength of our bones, especially as we age. Understanding which foods to limit or avoid can empower us to make better choices for lasting bone health. Let's explore 7 everyday foods that research now identifies as particularly detrimental to bone strength after the age of 70. We'll delve into how these foods affect the body, the science behind their impact on bone density, and practical ways to modify your diet for stronger, healthier bones in your golden years. First on the list is excessive salt. Salt is a staple in kitchens worldwide, and its presence in processed and packaged foods is nearly ubiquitous. But while a sprinkle might enhance flavor, too much sodium spells trouble for aging bones. Recent studies have highlighted a clear connection between high sodium intake and increased calcium excretion through urine. When calcium is flushed out of the body at a higher rate, bones are deprived of this essential mineral, leading to a gradual weakening over time. The risk is not just theoretical. Older adults with diets high in sodium have been shown to have lower bone mineral density and a higher risk of fractures. This is particularly concerning because processed foods, canned soups, ready-made sauces, and fast food meals often contain far more salt than one might expect. To protect your bones, it's wise to read nutrition labels carefully, cook at home when possible, and experiment with herbs and spices as sodium-free flavor enhancers. Next, we turn our attention to sugary beverages, a category that includes not just sodas, but also energy drinks and certain fruit-flavored drinks. These beverages are double trouble for bone health. First, they're loaded with sugar, which can interfere with the body's natural ability to absorb calcium. Second, many contain phosphoric acid, a compound that further promotes calcium loss. The result is a decrease in bone mineral density, a particularly concerning outcome for individuals over 70 who are already at greater risk for osteoporosis. Recent research underscores that habitual consumption of sugary drinks is associated with a measurable reduction in bone strength, especially among older adults. Swapping these drinks for water, herbal teas, or calcium-fortified juices is a positive step toward preserving bone mass. Caffeine is another everyday culprit. Most people enjoy their morning coffee or an afternoon pick-me-up, but it's easy to overlook the impact of caffeine on bone health. The latest findings suggest that consuming more than 3 to 4 cups of coffee each day can inhibit calcium absorption in the intestines. As a result, even if your diet includes sufficient calcium, your body may not be able to utilize it effectively. This can contribute to a steady decline in bone density over time. It's important to note that caffeine isn't just found in coffee. It's present in black and green teas, certain sodas, and even chocolate. Moderation is key. If you love your coffee, consider limiting your intake to 1 or 2 cups per day, and balance your diet with calcium-rich foods to offset any potential losses. Alcohol deserves special mention for its complex relationship with bone health. While occasional moderate consumption is unlikely to cause significant harm, heavy or chronic alcohol use is a different story. Alcohol interferes with the body's ability to absorb both calcium and vitamin D, 2 nutrients essential for bone formation and maintenance. It also impairs the activity of osteoblasts, the cells responsible for building new bone tissue. This dual effect means that bones not only lose density, but also struggle to repair and regenerate. The risk of osteoporosis and fractures increases substantially with long-term excessive drinking. Health organizations now recommend that older adults limit their alcohol intake to no more than 2 drinks per day, and ideally less. For those who already have low bone density or a history of fractures, even smaller amounts may be advisable. Another food group to watch out for is red and processed meats. While protein is vital for overall health, the source of that protein matters. High consumption of red meats, such as beef, lamb, and pork, and processed meats like sausages, bacon, and deli meats, has been linked to increased calcium loss. This is due in part to their high levels of saturated fats and sulfur-containing amino acids, which can acidify the body and lead to the leaching of calcium from bones to neutralize this acidity. New research suggests that diets rich in these meats are associated with lower bone mineral density and a higher risk of osteoporosis-related fractures, especially in older populations. For better bone health, consider incorporating more lean proteins such as poultry, fish, beans, and lentils into your diet, and reserve red and processed meats for occasional indulgence. Refined carbohydrates are another dietary pitfall. Foods like white bread, pastries, cookies, and biscuits are staples in many households, but they offer little in the way of bone-supporting nutrients. In fact, refined grains are stripped of important minerals such as magnesium and phosphorus during processing. These minerals are essential for bone structure and strength. Relying on refined carbohydrates can also displace healthier, nutrient-dense options from your diet, leading to subtle but meaningful deficiencies that accumulate over time. Recent studies indicate that diets high in refined carbs are associated with a greater risk of osteoporosis and fractures in the elderly. Making the switch to whole grains, such as brown rice, whole wheat bread, quinoa, and oats, can provide your bones with the minerals and fiber they need to stay strong. Rounding out our list are high-sodium processed foods. Many of these foods, including deli meats, frozen pizzas, savory snacks, and ready-to-eat meals, are not just high in salt, but also often lack other nutrients essential for bone health. The primary concern is, again, the sodium content, which leads to increased calcium loss through the kidneys. Over time, this can erode bone density and increase the risk of fractures. The convenience of these foods is undeniable, but their impact on bone health is significant, particularly for those over 70. Replacing processed foods with fresh fruits, vegetables, and home-cooked meals is a practical and effective way to support bone strength. So what does all this mean for your daily diet? The most recent evidence makes it clear that while genetics and overall health play a role in bone strength, what you eat on a daily basis can have a profound impact, especially as you grow older. The foods discussed here don't just pose a risk in isolation. It's the cumulative effect of regular, habitual consumption that can quietly erode bone health over time. The good news is that making small, consistent adjustments to your eating habits can yield significant benefits. Start by taking stock of your current diet. How often do you rely on processed foods, reach for sugary drinks, or indulge in extra servings of red meat? Are you consuming coffee or caffeinated beverages throughout the day without considering their impact? Is alcohol a regular part of your routine? These questions aren't about judgment, they're about awareness and empowerment. The latest research shows that older adults who actively manage their intake of these foods are more likely to maintain higher bone density and avoid debilitating fractures. But it's not just about what to avoid. It's also about what to include. A balanced diet rich in calcium and vitamin D is essential for bone maintenance. Dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese are classic sources, but leafy greens, fortified plant milks, tofu, and certain fish like sardines and salmon are excellent alternatives. Vitamin D, which aids in calcium absorption, can be synthesized through moderate sun exposure, but many older adults benefit from supplements, especially in winter or if mobility is limited. Other nutrients, such as magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamin K, also play pivotal roles in bone health. Nuts, seeds, whole grains, beans, and a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables can help ensure you're getting a broad spectrum of minerals and vitamins. Regular weight-bearing exercise, such as walking, dancing, or gentle resistance training, complements these dietary changes by stimulating bone formation and maintenance. It's also important to stay hydrated. Dehydration can impair bone metabolism and recovery after injury. Water and herbal teas are the best choices, while sugary drinks and alcohol should be minimized. For those who find dietary changes challenging, Remember that gradual shifts are often more sustainable than drastic overhauls. Start by swapping out one processed meal per week for a home-cooked alternative. Replace one daily sugary beverage with water or herbal tea. Experiment with herbs and spices to reduce your reliance on salt. Try incorporating plant-based proteins and whole grains into your favorite recipes. Over time, these small changes will add up, supporting not just your bones, but your overall health and well-being. Routine checkups with your healthcare provider can also help monitor bone health. Bone density scans, blood tests for vitamin D and calcium, and regular assessments of diet and lifestyle are valuable tools in maintaining strength and preventing complications. If you're concerned about your bone health or have a family history of osteoporosis, don't hesitate to discuss tailored strategies with your doctor or a registered dietitian. In summary, while aging inevitably brings changes to our bodies, we have more control over our bone health than we might think. By being mindful of the foods we consume daily, particularly those high in salt, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, saturated fats, and refined grains, we can protect our bones and reduce the risk of fractures and osteoporosis. The latest research reinforces the power of dietary choices in preserving bone density, mobility, and independence well into our 70s and beyond. Prioritize fresh, whole foods, stay active, and be vigilant about the subtle ways everyday foods can erode bone strength. By making informed decisions, you'll be taking a crucial step toward a stronger, more resilient future. Your bones will thank you with every step, every movement, and every moment of continued independence.